بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم my beloved ones ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we're going to continue the Q&A about stoning the big pillar of Shaitan in Mina. So we reached question number 10, and the question number 10 was, if a woman, she tried to hit the pillar several times, she's been trying and she can't. I mean, like, it's not like sometimes men, they are weak, sometimes women, they are weak. It depends on the fragility or the weakness and the age. So, but this ruling is talking about if a woman, she was not able to strike or hit the pillar, the big pillar of Satan, we said, and she tried several times. Is it sufficient for her to appoint a representative? Like, remember, representative is not something like, okay, come on, I can't, you come and hit. No, there has to be attempt. There has to be case. Why? Because women, they are exempt from hitting at night. Okay, so this ruling is not talking about night or day. It is talking where if she hits at night, she's trying to hit, she can't. If she hits in day, she can't. It's general. So can she, because everyone has to hit by themselves. Okay, so can she appoint a representative after being hopeless? So it's not like the crowd is at night, there's no crowd in the day. It's just she can't hit. It's not about crowd. She has maybe arm problem, weakness, this and that. She can't hit. She tried. So what is the limit of appointing a representative? The limit or the criteria or the level on which level she can't. I mean, maybe after some time she can. Now she can't. Maybe she's tired now. She's exhausted now. Maybe they go and they come back. She can. So as long as she can, even after going and coming back, okay, because Makkah and Mina is like barely 3 kilometers. It depends if you're in Aziziyah or which place you are in Makkah, okay, or even in Mina, which place you are located. So if you're able to come back in a time where she can hit, she has to, you have to bring her and she has to. So personally, people, they have to do it by themselves, personally. If they are hopeless, so that's the criteria. They know that if from the morning till night they keep hitting, they will not be. It's a fundamental problem. It's not like temporary problem. It's not like, for example, arm is now painful, or this is painful, that, or she's tired now, she's exhausted. No, it's just like even from day till night, she will not be able to hit. She has some chronic problem. She has some. So anything which causes hopelessness, this is the criteria. So he said that the hopelessness, okay, whenever there is hopelessness, that's the time, hopelessness from hitting by herself in the entire time which is designated. That means for women at night, it's permissible before the day, and in the daytime from the sunrise till sunset. She can't. That's she has some weakness. Okay, so that's the time she can appoint a representative, her husband, her brother, her sister, anyone, her friend, or female also, her sister, her friend, her clique, whatever. So they can just appoint someone to hit the pillar on their behalf. So it's not like, oh, I'm tired now. Okay, then later on, you're not tired. We'll come later on. So unless if there's hopelessness, she or he or whoever cannot appoint a representative. Question number 11. Remember that ruling which we said a guy was hitting the stone. It touched something and went, not bounce or dodge like the soccer player guy, that like a stone were coming on my head and I did like that. So he did not hit. I hit because it was not going on the target. It was the target was my head. So anyhow, so so there are two scenarios. One, the stone comes and bounces and goes there without anything, without any help, without any assistance from me. That is okay. But if it comes and if I will not kick like this or whatever, then it's going to be problematic, you see, because the initial guy, he was going to miss. It's I who just made it. So the thing is here, the stone was coming, okay, and it was not going to the targeted area. Like, for example, the stone is coming like this, and the target is just in front, okay. Another stone is coming, and then it came and hit. So there was, if it was not for this stone, your stone would not have reached the target. So the question number 11 says, he says that if, as you mentioned in the text of Manasik, that if a stone was coming and in the way it touched something, okay, it touched something, and then it went to the Jamra, even by touching, bouncing. So there was a bouncing, not a movement, the bouncing, it bounced, okay. So he says, if the question is, the question is, if it hit a stone, my stone was hit by somebody else's stone. So, yeah. So because of this collide, لو اصطدمت حصاته بحصاة شخص آخر, my stone collided with somebody else's stone, okay, and because of this collide, it went and hit the pillar. So will this be sufficient hit? He says that the way it has been presented in the question, it should not be problem. However, if the stone of the other person pushed like, for example, the stone is coming this way and the other stone is coming this way, so they both did together, like collided together. Somehow the target was locked, so the locked target was hit, even though it hit somebody else's stone hit, and they both went together. However, he says that no, if إلا إذا كانت حصاة الشخص الآخر قد دفعت حصاة هذا الشخص إلى جهة الجمرة فأصابتها لذلك, because of like it was going like this, because of this, so that will not be sufficient. The bottom line is, if it touched, bounced without any forcing it to move towards the Jamra, like some force coming, then it's okay. Just by touching stone to touching of that stone to anything else, and then because of that thing else it bounced, there's no problem. However, if something else pushed the Jamra, if it was not the stone, if it was not for that push, the target would not have been that the stone would not have hit. So that is it's understood. I mean, if it bounces something and because of that bounce it hits, that's okay. But because of that force of that thing which it bounced, it hits, then there's a problem. Like as I said, if it bounced to the head and goes there, it's okay. Though it bounce, for example, like let's say it was a ball, for example, just to make let you have the picture. The ball comes here and bounces. Don't be surprised. There are people, they hit very hard because people, they have been hit like some stones from behind. So it hits, goes all the way. So it's like a plane smearing your head, especially if there's no hair. So therefore, but if it comes and the guy bounces it to the stone, to the pillar, then that it can become problematic. Okay, question number 12. Now, this is interesting. In the rules of Muzdalifah, if we go back to rules of Muzdalifah, the exempt ones, if we go to the exempt ones, what did Sayyid say? This is in ruling number 374. 374. So people, like men, I mean, in general, wajib is to leave Muzdalifah when? After sunrise. However, there are exempt. Now count with me those exempt. Person who's afraid, small kids. That means if the kids, they can go, I mean, they can stay until the sunrise. Yeah, but they have option. Okay, they don't have to stay. Even if they're not afraid, because see, the number one category is khaif, a person is afraid. Then kids are a separate category from a person who's fearful or who's afraid of something. Okay. Then women, if they are afraid to stay, no. Even if they're not afraid, they can. See, these categories are very important. Many people, they get mixed up. Oh, what if my wife was not afraid? She can stay until sunrise. Can she leave? Yes. For women, for kids, and for the weak ones, sick ones and elderly. What if the sick one or elderly can stay until sunrise? Do they have to? No. So for sick one, it doesn't, the strength is not required, or the ability or inability. He's just sick, and sick one are normally weak. Okay, he says وَالضُّعَفَاء, the weak ones. So that means the sick one, which is weak, and the elderly, which are weak. So how many categories we have? We have three categories, or four. Khaif, a person who's afraid. That means male gender, who's everything is okay, he's not weak, he's not sick, but he's afraid. That's number one. Number two, kids, even they are not afraid, even if they are not weak, they can leave before Fajr time. Not sunrise, before Fajr, at night they can leave from Muzdalifah. After, or the women, even if they are not afraid, even if they are not weak, they can leave. And the weak ones, okay, such as elderly and sick ones. So here, do the elderly have to be afraid? No. Do the weak one have to be afraid? No. So afraid of what? So say the Sistani Damadullah says, afraid on their lives, afraid on their wealth, afraid on their dignity. What does that mean? That means if they go alone, these men or these people, they might be surrounded by people and they might steal their wealth. Nowadays, it's totally unlikely. Unless if somebody goes with thieves to Farhad, then that's like Ali Baba and the 40 thieves. So then, yeah, you should be just leaving. Don't stay at night. You got your caravan is thieves. So if afraid on his life, dignity, wealth, Afraid of being sick, afraid of being crowd? No. If you're sick, then you have your exemption with you. And sickness that causes weakness, not sickness just like, oh, I'm sick. Oh, no. Sickness is under the category of weak ones. So elderly person, weak one. Nowadays, 60, 70 years old guy, mashallah, they're like horse. And you see a 30-year-old guy is like a chubby and tired and exhausted and this and that. So it's not about how old these elderly, if they are considered from the weak ones, that means they have urine problem, this problem, that problem, sickness, or sick. So these are the 4 categories. Okay, they are exempt. If they are exempt from Muzdalifah, they are exempt from stoning the shaitan in the daytime on the day of Eid. Okay, the pillar, not shaitan. Stoning the big pillar. When I say shaitan, consider I'm saying big, the big pillar of shaitan, because saying big pillar of shaitan, it's a long sentence. And when we don't say the observers, I mean, did they discover the shaitan, Satan, or something like that? So that's why I try to be very specific. Pillar of the Satan, pillar of the Satan. So it's like a Kaaba, house of God. God does not live in that house. Pillar of that's not shaitan. That's a symbolic, the way you go around the Kaaba symbolically, it's sign of your obedience. The pelting the stone pillars is sign of your rejection of shaitan. So these are strong symbols for your life. Okay, embracing the virtues and rejecting the vices, the evil. Reject and embrace the goodness, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the supreme good to be embraced. Subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most merciful. Embrace the merciful, reject the one who's damned, shaitan al-rajim. So anyhow, so if I say shaitan accidentally, that means pillar of shaitan. Okay. So yes. So he says that question number 12. You mention in manasik, you mention in the text of manasik, the text of the manasik al-Hajj, that there are those who are exempt from stoning in the daytime. And among them is somebody who's afraid. So what is the meaning of afraid? Is it afraid of crowd in Mina on the day of Eid, or what? Or afraid of someone else? He says that the answer, it means that someone who is afraid on his life, like those old days, you see, if he was alone, he might be subjected, because it's a desert, mountains, some thief might be behind, and this and that, which is not likely nowadays. Or it doesn't mean somebody might kill him. No, if he's alone, you see, he might need some medication, but if he's sick, he can live. Yeah, but he's not sick. I mean, those people who are on medications like diabetes medication, and if they are, their sickness is controlled, so they are as normal people, unless if they are afraid that it might hit them because of the weakness, because it causes weakness. So then they are from the weak ones. Okay, potentially they are from the weak ones. But if it's totally controlled and they could jog and they could run and they could do that kind of sickness, so they are not exempt. So but this guy, there is a potential of threat on his life, or his dignity. Okay, if he goes alone, people might abuse him, insult him, disrespect him severely. He cannot tolerate a bunch of bullies or whoever. Or on his wealth, and this happens a lot. I mean, stealing is something normal in Hajj, so be careful with your wealth wherever you are. Even in your Makkah and quarters, you have to be very careful. So this person is exempt from staying from stoning in the daytime in Mina. Okay. الذي يخاف على نفسه وعرضه وماله من المكث في منى نهارا بمقدار الرمي. لَا الْخَائِفْ مِنَ الزُّحَامِ. So he cannot, the guy on the day of Eid, he's afraid on his life that if he's, now Muzdalifah was a scenario. Now we're talking about there's a crowd in a way that could squeeze him and he could die, or his like somebody's waiting for him or something. And the most probable case is the death due to the crowd. Okay. So if he was in a way that the claustrophobic and the crowd he might be harmed, not necessarily he would die. No, nafsi is like he harm also, severe harm is also considered afraid of being harmed. Or his dignity, okay? Like he goes inside the crowd and every time he knows that his ihram falls down, whoopsie daisy. So that's his dignity, okay? And or because of the crowd. And I've seen with my eyes people, they come out of the crowd and there's nothing down, and the ihram gets stuck in the crowd because they did not tight it properly. You'd better tight your ihram. Otherwise, whoopsie daisies will happen. Or wealth. You go inside, come out, your wealth is, your money, all that amount of money you're carrying, gone. So, so he says that if he goes in the daytime, during the stoning time, he may be harmed seriously, or his dignity would be jeopardized, or his wealth would be stolen in the time of stoning. Maybe not in the time of stoning is okay, but once he goes inside, that's where. And these things are, those days, yes, when the pillar was not promoted, that now it's a wall. It's very unlikely that you get too much crowd and you're not able to scoop yourself in. So there's a difference between the one who was afraid in Muzdalifah because of the desert circumstances and mountain and going alone there, and he might be it might harm him, or it might be his dignity. Here, a person who's afraid is different than the person who's afraid there. Here, a person who's afraid in that time frame of going inside and to do the rami, okay, to do the stoning. So al-makth mina naharan, the guy who is who's fearful on his life, or even from harm, or on his dignity or his wealth, from staying in Mina in the daytime, the amount of the stoning, the time which is required to stone, not the one who's afraid of crowd, okay? If he's afraid of crowd, he cannot stone at night. The afraid of being harmed, or his dignity might be jeopardized, or his wealth might be taken when he goes inside during stoning. So then this person is exempt, and he can stone at night time when the crowd is less. But the crowd is not the criteria. The crowd that causes or the causes harm on his self or his dignity or his wealth. But if and go inside and come out, and he was afraid of the crowd, but he was not the crowd would not be cause of harm to his self or dignity or wealth, then he is not exempt from pelting at night or stoning at night. So this fearful person is a gray area. Women, afraid, not afraid, they are exempt. Children, afraid, not afraid, they are exempt. Weak ones, like elderly and sick ones, afraid, not afraid, exempt. But the issue of that fearful person, a person who has fear, that was required a clarification. So fear of what? Fear of the crowd. I'm always afraid of the crowd. No, fear of being on his harm to his self or to his dignity or to his wealth during the time of pelting. Question number 13. If a woman, she knows, okay, that she will not be able to stone in the daytime of the day of Eid. No, sorry, it's opposite. If a woman, she knows that she is able to stone in the daytime on the day of Eid without any difficulty, without any severe difficulty, okay, is it permissible for her to stone at night? Yes, because the condition is not weakness or fear for women and children. It is just they're exempt. Khalas. And then those feminist people, they say, oh, Islam discriminates and women are down. Baba, you guys are queen. Uh, we did not get that. We should be protesting that no, why they are allowed? Why this discrimination? But we are quiet. Okay. So women, even if they're not afraid, khalas, you can leave Muzdalifah, enjoy your life. And the guys have to rot in Muzdalifah with lack of bathroom and lack of this and that and issues. And they are, mashallah, smooth move to Mina and stone at night, or very less crowd. But I can hit on the day. No, you don't have to. That condition is not for you. You are exempt. Okay. Let the guys. Anyhow, question number 14. So now in the ruling of Muzdalifah, these four categories of person who's afraid: women, children, weak ones. Okay. But a weak one, especially, he needs somebody to take care of that person. Sick ones, caretaker. So a caretaker is needed for weak one. A caretaker is needed for the sick ones. A guardian or custodian or somebody is needed for the women. Okay. So the weak ones, caretaker needed most of the time. It's weak. And also the kids, they need a caretaker. Women, they need somebody to take care of them. Weak ones, okay, I mean, those who are afraid, maybe because of the caretaker, the fear might, without the caretaker, the fear might increase. So what about the caretaker? They can live with them. Allah, mashallah. If you are a caretaker, you are lucky. You don't have to rot in Muzdalifah at night, standing in long queues for the restroom and this and that. So the smooth exit, okay? However, what about, this is the question. However, what about stoning the shaitan? Can they stone in the daytime, at night time, with their subjects whom they are taking care of, or not? This is the question. So he said, if those weak women, children, or the person who's afraid, he needs a bodyguard. If without the bodyguard, he may be subjected. So therefore, those who are taking care, the caretakers, if these excused exempt ones can survive without the caretaker, the amount of time required for the guardian, I'll just say guardian of the caretaker, or the caretaker. So if they can survive in Mina, because they're in Mina in the daytime, and the guardian is exempt from leaving from Muzdalifah, or the caretaker, but that caretaker is not exempt from stoning in the daytime. He has to stone in the daytime, the guardian. So the answer of Agha, may Allah protect him, is that if these who require caretaker can survive without their caretaker for that amount of time, which is required for the caretaker to stone and come back in the daytime, then they cannot stone at night, the caretakers. Okay. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes those who stoned, they come back. Please take care of Fulan, and I'll now go stone and come back. Okay. So you go and stone the pillar and come back. So you can't stone at night. And nowadays, because of the caravan and this and that, and some nice people are always there. You can depend on Allah and depend on them. But let's say people are nafsi, no, don't put your burden on me, this and that, and okay, Baba, okay. So he knows that this situation he's going to face. Then they can just stone at night if they know that the caretaker, they need them for every like 2-3 minutes, because stoning is not like a grocery beside your house. Sometimes the tents are very far, and sometimes the tent are close, but the crowd is so much that until you reach the jamara, the big pillar, it's like half an hour. Okay, even if it's 1 kilometer, and if you don't get lost, okay, and coming back also half an hour, if you don't get lost, if you get lost. So it is not about like getting a Coke or something like that from the grocery and coming back. It is you go, you half an hour, maybe more. Okay, if the tents were all the way beside Muzdalifa, it's like 3 kilometers. So there's 1 full hour. If 20 minutes is 1 kilometer, so 1 hour or half an hour or 50, there is a time required. And your subject, or the one whom you are taking care of, cannot survive without you. And there is no one you can depend on that he could take care of your 1 hour absence. So in that case, you know that in that case you stone with them at night. Question number 15. The sick ones and the women, those who are exempt, okay, especially the weak ones, women, sick ones, elderly, and women. If they are going to stone at night after coming from Muzdalifa to Mina, they found out that it is too crowded, okay, because these exemptions are being used by not by few. Now, even the other madhahib, they have these exemptions. So it becomes crowded sometimes when you come from Muzdalifa. So they will not be able to hit. So do they have to hit in the daytime if they are able to, or they can just designate a representative to stone for them at night time? The question is, can my representative hit stone at night, or my representative has to stone in the daytime? Okay. The answer, if they are able to stone at night by themselves or in the daytime by themselves, then they should stone. If they were not able to due to the severe crowd, then on the basis of obligatory precaution, they need to appoint someone to stone on their behalf in the daytime. In the daytime. So what about the caretaker who they can't live without, they can't survive without? No, but he's not taking your caretaker should go. Anyone can go. Okay. So for representation, this ruling is different. That ruling was about the caretaker. When does he stone? This is now about they cannot stone neither at night nor in the daytime. So what? So they designate a caretaker. No, not a caretaker, a representative. Anyone, not necessarily caretaker. This representative, okay, can he stone at night? Say the SISTANI Damadullah says, on the basis of obligatory precaution, someone who can stone in daytime and not night. What about husband? A husband, إذا كان الزوج لا يأمن على زوجته بذهابها إلى منى ليلا لرمي جمرة العقبة، ولا يتيسر توفير سيارة نقلها لجمرة نهارا، أو يتيسر ذلك ولكن فهل يجوز لها أن تستنيب? So let's say if a husband cannot secure his wife's, so husband, when she goes to stone at night and also in the daytime, there's no car available to take her in the daytime, or the car is available but the crowd is severe. So anyhow, to make a question easier, a person is insecure on his wife, okay, that she goes and stones at night or in the daytime. So can she appoint a representative to stone? So he says that if a wife is insecure on herself from stoning at night with other women, okay? So no, if she's secured, if the wife is secured with other women who are going to stone, then she must stone by herself because there is a security surrounding her. 5, 6 women are going, and if she goes with them, she's secured. By herself, insecure, but she is secured. So let's say she goes with women and she's secured. She has a guaranteed security. Okay. So the husband cannot stop her. Okay. So the husband should not prevent her from going at night to pelt stone by herself. She's secured with the woman. However, if she is insecure, okay, be it at night or be it a day, then she can appoint a representative. And if she can go in the daytime to the pillar of shaitan, however, there is a severe crowd, then as a precautionary measure, she should combine the stoning to the extra pillar. And like the pillar of shaitan, there's a main area which God knows best, because the main pillar was demolished and a wall was built. Now some say in the middle, some say in the right-hand side, some say in the left-hand side. Some of those who are living in eastern province of Saudi Arabia from the Mu'mineen Shuyukhs, they say that we remember that this pillar was at this side. We can't, if we don't find that sheikh, we will not be able to know. And okay, in the middle of which side, in the right-hand side of which side is it from? Because it's a flat wall, this is a wall. So they say close to the edge of the 1/3 of the beginning. So beginning from here, or beginning from here, or this is the beginning, or this is the. It's so much confusing. This is all some of those who claim that, but then there are those who are countering them. No, it was in the middle. So for us, all these are conflicting. So it's all about satisfaction. Okay. So many, they are satisfied, just go as much as possible in the middle. And that's why you see the lot of crowd is just in the middle of that wall. Like this is the wall, this is the beginning and ending, so middle. So most of people, they just stone the middle part. Okay. So if you are satisfied, so if somebody tells you it's in the beginning, 1/3, hit there if you're satisfied. So that if a woman, she tries to stone in the middle in the daytime, she goes with somebody, okay? She goes with someone to stone. So أما إذا لم تأمن على نفسها, if she was insecure by stoning by herself, then she can stone. She can appoint a representative. However, now this is an extra thing about she being present in front of the pillar of the shaitan. Some ulamas, they say the representatives, those who represent, they have to be there. They cannot give representation in the tent. They have to go to in the presence of the pillar of the shaitan and let the representative hit. So here, Sayyidi Sistani Damodullah says, if she was able to go to the pillar in the daytime, but because of the severe, she cannot, then as a precautionary measure, she goes there and she hits anywhere there's no crowd. Like here, there's no crowd, but it's doubtful that was the real pillar here, because most of the doubts, they say it was in the middle and it was expanded. So she hits the extra, or she hits the extra from the top. Okay, she's the extra, and the representative hits the original part. So he says that فالأحوط أن تذهب وتجمع, she combines بين رمي المقدار الزائد, between stoning the extra part by herself, extra part of the stone of the wall, والاستنابة لرمي المقدار الأصلي, and she appoints a representative to stone the original area. That is, if the original area was known. And it may be known, I mean, to very few people, but it's their personal knowledge, and they're conflicting. Some people, they contradict them. Question number 7. Do I have to be in Mina and stone? Or no, I can be out of Mina and stone. How can that be? I mean, the pillars are in Mina. How can you be in the helicopter or something about like no? Remember, we said Aqaba, Jamrat al-Aqaba. So this is border of Makkah. Okay, this border of Makkah. Jamrat al-Aqaba is glued on the border of Makkah. So before, there was a wall behind, and this pillar was there. Now, obviously, the wall has been demolished and the pillar have been stretched. Okay. So let's say the wall ends to the border of Makkah. That means the original pillar is adjacent to the border of Makkah. Some people, they say the Jamrat al-Aqaba go all the way at the end, beside the border, the area of the wall beside the, but we don't know. The wall has gone outside the border of Makkah because it was stretched from both sides. So the stretch has gone outside. Maybe that's not even the original pillar. So if you know the border of Makkah, that means the original one was at least Jamratul Aqaba. You can find out if you know the original border of Makkah. So this is something to keep in mind. So can I hit from outside? Okay. So let's say now the wall is not there. So this is the pillar, or this is it's supposed to be a wall. Okay. Let's bring the wall. Okay. So this is the wall of Jamrat al-Aqaba. You pelt from here, you stone here, and there's also narrow side from sides. So let's say someone knows that this is border of Makkah. So can he stone from here? But if he stones from here, he'll be out of Mina. Can he stone from out of Mina? This is the question, okay? So not from where, from helicopter here. No. Because Jamrat al-Aqaba is in the border of Makkah, so we are talking about stoning from out of Mina. in Makkah. So he's stoning the stone. The stone is in Mina, but he is in Makkah, stoning from this side. Can he do that? Okay, that is the question. So the answer is you don't have to be in Mina to stone the Jamratul Aqaba, the big pillar of the shaitan. Therefore, there is no problem, okay, if you stand away from the Jamratul Aqaba, uh, from its side of the face. فلا مانع من الوقوف حال الرمي بعيدا عنها من جهة وجهها. So where is the face of Jamrat al-Aqaba? Okay. So is it like, is the face here or is the face here? So if we are in the Mina, small, medium, large, so this is the face. And if the question of the guy is that he wants to hit from here to make sure that he's hitting the original, if he knows that this is still the border of Makkah and Jamrat al-Aqaba wall starts from here. So he wants to hit here. Somebody can hit from here. Somebody can hit from here, this edge. So this is the edge. If this is the border, then this is your original Jamrat al-Aqaba. So he said that there's no problem in standing far away, even if him being standing far away makes him stand outside of Mina. Okay. On the contrary, or rather, it is recommended that a person who's stoning stands away from recommendation, okay, away from the pillar, 10 yards away from the pillar, or 15 yards. Okay. The sentence is arms, like 15 arms. So like your arm maybe like 3 foot, 1 foot, 2 foot, 3 foot, about, if your arm is not the arm of Bigfoot or something like that. No, the normal average arm is like an average of 3 foot. It's 1 yard. So 10 yards or 15 yards or 15 arms, it's mustahab. This is good for those people who are strikers, who are shooters and rooters that shoot from far and it hits. A person like me, I would not be able to stand 10 yards. I have to just stand beside the wall and just stone. So yeah, so it says that it is permissible, and on the contrary, if he is far away, standing far away, and standing far away takes him out of the Mina, it's okay, 10 yards, and because from the other sides, 10 yards, 15 yards will not take him out, and from this side, even if like it's just Makkah, is just the border. So even if just like 1 yard is out of Makkah, so it is not required for you to be in Mina to pelt the Jamrat al-Aqaba. What about the purification? Question number 18 says that can someone uh, who is whose dress is pure, but he's in the state of metaphysical sexual impurity, like janaba. He says, yeah, it's okay. I mean, you can stone the shaitan. You don't have to be pure. في حال الجنابة مع طهارة ثوبي الإحرام. My ihram is clean, but I have not done ghusl. He was in Muzdalifah and whoopsie daisy happened. And then he couldn't find water, so he was doing tayammum. And then he found water in Mina. He did the Fajr and came in Mina with tayammum, and then he found water in Mina, but he did not do ghusl. Tayammum breaks down when you find water. You go directly to Jamara, so you are in the state of Janaba. Question number 19. He said that yeah, this is subhanallah, how people are, they hit. He said that, I mean, does someone have to stand in front of the Jamara to hit, in front of the pillar to hit? Okay. When I say pillar, that means wall nowadays. If you know where the real pillar is, then pillar. So is it necessary to hit like this, or you are a slight hitter? You can just stand here in this corner and just hit the face. Okay, you're not standing in front. You're standing in the side hits, like side kicks or something like that. You're standing here and pelting the stone from this side. You see, corner hitter. So he said that, is there any problem to strike or to stone Jamarat al-Aqaba from behind the Jamara, this side, if this is behind the Makkah side, if this is front, and I'm standing here, but pelting this side. So I'm standing behind the Jamara and pelting this side or pelting this side. So I'm standing here, but I have like a side skills. So I'm just like able to stand here and pelt the shaitan, this pillar here, or pelt the pillar from here. Fine, and there's no problem. You can stand wherever you want. Maybe somebody's claustrophobic is asking this question, that I don't want to go into crowd in this. I find a safe corner, and I'm a corner hitter. So maybe it's a splint eye or something like that. Anyhow, whatever. Yeah. Question number 20. Is it permissible to stone the pillar from a direction where he's going to hit? There is a possibility that it might hit a HAJJ. He said, no, don't do that. It is not permissible on the basis of obligatory precaution. You see, it's a precautionary measure. You don't hurt other people. Make sure that when you hit, you're not going to hit somebody's head. You see, maybe a person is short and he's standing behind a tall guy and he can see the wall, but he hits one. Go in and stand there. And then again, hit. I told you, go there. Why are you behind me, hitting behind me? So this is the case of that guy. He's short and he's behind this tall guy, and the tall guy's skull is shining, mashallah, because they shave their head, you know. So it's an attractive head to be stoned. Those shining heads after shaving the head in Mina. So he find it like distraction. Oh, I will hit this head, so shining and so. Anyhow, so therefore, this guy is short, and can he do? No, 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 no. It's not permissible for you to do that on the basis of obligatory precaution. But I know that the stone will go from above his head. No, why do you have to stand behind him? Okay, because I'm sheltering myself. Okay, shelter yourself from behind, not from front. Stones are coming from behind, the way you are stoning this poor guy. So therefore, the stoning needs to be in a way that your position in a way that you are not going to hit or strike some. Maybe that side kick guy, he's afraid of hitting somebody. That's why he's hitting from the sides. Okay. What about like when you go there and you're stoning thousands of stones, there is a rain of stone. So how will you know that your stone precisely hit? If you focus, you can see your stone all day because you're focusing on your stone, like you're targeting. Many people can, but let's say somebody has messed up target, or he cannot, or the stones are in a way that he cannot focus and target. Okay, so what will happen? That this question number 21 says that if somebody was close to the pillar, okay, and he hits, but he cannot see his stone hitting the pillar due to the plenty stones coming towards the direction of the pillar. So will it be sufficient for him? He's not sure. He says if it is satisfied, he was standing in a way, okay, that any average person could hit, and it could strike the pillar. So he says if he's satisfied that it would have hit the pillar, even if it cannot distinguish it, it's okay. Your satisfaction is important here. because many people, it may be very difficult for them to just pinpoint his target. So he says, as long as you're satisfied and you saw your stone going straight forward and not falling down, okay, or not being struck by a stone good, or not hitting somebody's shining head, so you are okay. I mean, as long as it goes straight, then you don't know it hit or not. If you are satisfied, it's okay. Question number 22 says that after stoning and going away from the from the pillar, I doubt that some of the stones might have hit or not. Like, I get sometimes that kind of thing. Uh, no, I think no, some of the stones might not have. So it is a doubt. So is it permissible to go and hit a stone or more just as a precautionary measure? Remember, yesterday we said you can't hit more than 7 with the intention of being part of stoning. Just because you're mad and upset and the shaitan, Ya Allah, for your sake, I'm going to hit him 14 or 20. No, 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 no. Just 7. Allah wants 7. Just hit 7. It's symbol and it's not. If you love Allah, you will not do 10 rounds around the Kaaba just because you love Allah. This is a house of God. The same here. Same thing. If you hate shaitan, that's fine. That's required and necessary. But you are not allowed to do what more than whatever the Allah is designated in the Quran or through the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So therefore, just hit 7. Don't extra. But yes, this is a case of doubt and precautionary measure. If there is a doubt and you want to take precautionary measures, yeah, for the precautionary measure, you can do extra just to relieve yourself from the doubt. What if I throw stone? And you can see sometimes people, they throw the stone and the stone shatters when it hits the wall. Because it's mustahab to have soft stones, but not like boogers of the animals, and or not just like that. Even sometimes you will see some clay. That is clay, that is not stone. So you have to press when you are choosing the stone. It's not clay, it needs to be stone. Yes, that's many stones. If you take a stone and strike it, it breaks down. You see, and that's why people, they take this big stone and they bring another stone and they become like cavemen, and they start striking and breaking small pieces out of that big piece of stone, so that they are sure that it is virgin, not being used. For example, it's a satisfaction, and they're sure that it is stone and not clay. So that's why many people, you see that they are, you will say, why, what are they doing there? Are they like igniting fire or this? No, Baba. They want to just make fresh stones and take it with them, because some stones, they might be brought back from Mina and kept there or something like that, whatever. So we are going to take those rules as well. So, but as long as it's in Muzdalifah, and it is, even if it was some from outside and they brought in the Muzdalifah for the Hajj to easily find, because 2 million Hajj, each million Hajj picks up minimum of like how many stones? 7 stone for first day, 21, 21. So 21, 21, 42, and 7, 49. Each Hajj chooses 50, 50 multiplied by 2 million. That's a lot of stones. So Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses and does his arrangement for his guests. But anyhow, maybe the government also helps in bringing stones from outside, so the Hujjaj are not struggling to find stones easily. And there are some people, they just go and break piece of mountain, because it's all mountain. Some mountains are, stones are fragile, so they break a piece, and that 10 people, they start breaking, and you will see it's a factory of stones there. Anyhow, yes. So what is the ruling of the stone where when you're stoning? Okay, it goes and no, that's another one. That's another one. If it's stone. So question number 23 is breaking the stone. Okay, so what is the ruling of breaking the stone, which are going to be used to pelt the pillar of the shaitan? So can we use the broken stones? Okay, break the stone, So this is another thing that for Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah, it's makruh. It's not haram, okay? It's makruh. So why do these people, they do makruh? As I said, when you ask them, why are you doing makruh? They said, no, I don't want to throw a stone, which is not part of Muzdalifah, number one. And number two, which may be brought back from Mina when they collect. If you go to YouTube and see how they collect all the stones from the Jamarat, trucks and trucks are loading the stone from so they've made a basement underground passageway from the below the Jamara. So the stones are being hit. They're all automatically going down in a funnel. And this funnel, there's a truck underneath it. The truck is packed. It goes, another truck comes. So they have made, before they had to bring a crane or the whatever tools to get the stones out. So these trucks are going. Now, where are they going? Either they're going to the construction site, they get free stones, you see, to build things, or they may be going back to Muzdalifah and throwing it there or whatever. God knows best, you see. So because one of the things we mentioned in the condition that the stone must not be used by stoning by someone else. It should be virgin stone. So we don't know that these are brought back or virgin. So that's why these people, they do makruh to secure that the stones they are stoning are fresh from Muzdalifah and from the Haram area of Haram. So that's why he says it is makruh, it is abhorred, dislikable to break the stones. However, there is no problem in stoning with the broken stones. So question number 24, he says, what if I throw my stone, okay, and it hits the wall, the pillar, and it breaks there, shatters. So will it be considered a strike? Okay. Yes, he says it will be considered a strike, that you strike. Even after hitting the Jamara, it shatters, there's no problem. You don't have to redo that one. Um, um, so he says that is it required that the stones need to be permissible, halal, that means not stolen? You see, you are out of stone and you're seeing somebody has, mashallah, good bag hanging around there, and you're in need of stone there. You don't want to go back to Muzdalifah or Mina. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. So you don't have to go back to where? Back to Muzdalifah. Ardul Haram, land of Haram. Land of Haram is Makkah, Mina, Muzdalifah. You can go in the skirts of mountain in Mina, because Mina is valley. Remember Wadi Muhassar was that all the between the valley, that's the border of Muzdalifah and Mina. So you will see chains of mountain and skirts of mountain. You can go to the skirts of mountain in Mina or in Makkah and get stones for the next day. So let's say this guy is out of stone and he is from that hyperbolic Irfani. People know, I have to stone. And he looks, mashallah, that guy's a big like udder of the goat or udder of the cow. Like many people, they carry like so many stones and they're like tying it. So this guy goes there like a Pink Panther and makes a slit. And the guy is walking and the stones are falling down from his udder of the stones. And this guy picks this up. It is permissible. He's stealing the stones of other and stoning. And no, then his friend needs stone. So this is number 2 section of this question. His friend needs stone. So what he does, what happened? I'm out of stone. I found some stone from the ground. So take this one. They are not hit. No, they are not hit. They're fresh. That I can guarantee. It was like a so now that person doesn't know that these stones are stolen. So there is someone who's thief, who usurped, and someone who doesn't know it's usurped. So if they throw, will it be considered that they stoned Jamrat al-Aqaba or no? It's invalid. So let's say, he says it's problematic to throw the stones which are usurped, unless if the thrower was unaware about those stones being stolen, or the guy who stole forgot that these are stolen. Okay, so unaware, like the friend forgot, something happened and he forgot that these are the stolen ones, you see. So someone who's unaware about the ghasb, or he knows that it is usurped, but he forgot about it. Who? The friend. We are talking about the friend forgot, not the thief. So if someone else, so if the usurper, it's problematic. Unless if someone was unaware about the usurped, the stone being usurped, or he forgot that these stones are usurped, and he was not a usurper, so his stoning will be counted with those usurped stones because he's unaware, or he was aware but he forgot, or the guy who stole, he was unaware that it is prohibited to usurp someone else's property or someone else's stone, and he was unaware. That kind of unawareness, which a person can be excused, not intentional unawareness. No, unintentional. He doesn't know the rule. He's living in desert. He's living somewhere, and if these are stone, I mean, these don't carry any value on this and that. So if I take, there's so many. If I'll take a few from him without his knowledge, he will not feel it. He is like so many stones. Like I said, udder of the camel or udder of the cow's milk or whatever. So, and I have seen, mashallah, people, they come with the loads of, you need 50 stones. Okay, take 100 just as a precautionary if you're not a good hitter. But mashallah, and some of them, they get many to also help others out to distribute. They distribute like fatah or sawab or something like that. Or this one, he knew that it was haram, but he had forgotten. So we divide the stone, usurped stone being striked, in two divisions. Number one, a person, if he is aware that it is haram to usurp and to stone, then that strike is, to consider that strike sufficient is problematic with, say, the SISTANI, on the basis of obligatory precaution, should not consider that, take that into the count of the 7 strikes. Okay? So that's number one. Or he was unaware that the usurped stone is it is haram to steal somebody else's stone. Okay, unaware. That kind of unawareness, that is pardoned, unintentional unawareness, not intentional. Or he had forgotten that it is haram to usurp stones. So he had forgotten, or he was unaware, that unintentional ignorance about the prohibition, or it was someone else who did not know that these stones are usurped, or he knew but he forgot that these stones are usurped. So the only one case the usurped stone is not sufficient if a person knew that it is prohibited, or he was ignorant, unaware, that kind of inexcused unawareness. Okay, so that kind of stone, that kind of is not sufficient. Okay, that stoning is not sufficient. Other than that, all the cases of use, and that's not sufficient as a fatwa. It's an obligatory precaution. So this is if somebody stole, so it's obligatory precaution. Marja says, yes, you have committed haram, but because some rules, if somebody usurps something, he commits haram because he did something haram, he stole. However, the amal is correct if it was not part of the condition of the deed. Okay, so stoning, it should. So that's why the questioner asked that is it required that the stone should be mubah, permissible, not stolen, not usurped, not taken without permission? So it seems that this condition is not part of the validity of the stoning. It is haram to usurp. In every case, it is prohibited. It's the worst type of prohibition. It's huquq al-ibad, is the madhalim al-ibad, the rights of others. So the rights of others are haram in every case. The question is, does it affect or not affect? You steal water of wudu, it affects your salah because salat's condition is wudu. But is the condition of the stone be permissible to be sufficient? Here, ulamas, they have difference of opinion because they have to have narration. Yes, it is haram, but it is a strict condition. So Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah uses a precautionary measure on the basis of obligatory precaution. It's not sufficient if a person was aware and did not forget the prohibition, and his unawareness was that type of unawareness which was not pardoned. In this case, only obligatory precaution, it will not be sufficient. Knowingly or unknowingly, that kind of unknowingly, which is not pardoned, or intent. So he knows, or he does not know, but that unawareness. These are the two conditions where, on the basis of obligatory precaution, it will not be sufficient. Deliberately, intentionally, knowingly, or no, unknowingly, but that ignorance which is not pardoned, which you doubted, you did not question, you had scholars, you shuyukh, and you just went Pink Panther and stole something. Okay, so here, the question 26. 3 more and we'll be done for today. So what about now? Now I did strike. So what about, I mean, do I need to pay sadaqah, madhalim al-ibad, something like that? So that's question 26. He says, if someone found, it happens that you strike and you feel you have not struck, you start looking for stones here and there, you see, out of the gallery. So in the gallery, before, if you take from the gallery, definitely it's used. Maybe there are some which did not strike and came from the other side. But nowadays, whatever goes into the gallery goes down all the way in those trucks which are being loaded. Whatever is out of the gallery, that means it did not strike because there's a wall. So stones from that side, it's unlikely that they would be found on this side, and stones on this side, it will be unlikely to be on that side. So in this case, people, they try to, because once somebody is done, he just throws all the stone there in Mina. You see, so here, if someone finds stones which were lost from someone, okay, but you cannot find that someone, where to find it? So many hujjat, you saw they're all wearing white ihram, and you saw that pouch of somebody fell down, okay, and you tried to chase him, he got lost between all those people who are wearing white cloth, and that happens. You see, that happens a lot. So make sure that the person who you are following, don't look at his ihram, look at his hair, something like that, some sign. Otherwise, you'll miss your friend there. Just you close your eyes, open. Where did he go? Oh, where did he go? You start looking for that person. So basically, he saw a pouch, fell down, which has stones in it. And he took it up and he wants to, where did that guy go? Disappeared. So what should he do? Can he take that and use them? He says, yes, he can use them as long as it does not have any value, even if the value was less monetary value. Okay. Monetary value. That means, let's say I had purchased stones from one of my friends. If so many, please give me. Oh, I'll give you. Like it was like one of those who charge and everything they charge. No, I mean, if you want, just give me $1, so I will give you a bunch of stone. Okay, $8 each stone, 10 pence or something like that. So you purchase, and you know that nowadays you have to buy the stones. Or for example, let's say a time came that people, they have to buy stones. So so can he, like, he says, if there's no value for the stones, which is the case most of the time, then yes, you can use them. However, if it has value, even if it is less value, then on the basis of obligatory precaution, first take out charity on behalf of the person who lost his stones, and then use those stones, like you're buying from that person, and the payment will go to the akhirat. So you say, Ya Allah, he took my stones and he used them, and because everything will be disclosed and exposed on the day of judgment. So Allah will say, see, he also paid to poor people that amount, and because of that charity, I have pardoned you from your punishment in hell. So would you like to pardon him? Yeah, but pardon him. So this is something. Question number 27. Is it permissible to throw big size stones? Okay. So is it permissible that the stones which are thrown to be big size? He said it is permissible as long as they are considered small stone. Hasa is small stone, like pebbles. Okay. So yeah, as long as they are considered pebbles, not like golf balls, because golf ball is smaller than this one. That is also small. So it's a relative thing. So no, I mean, small means like pebble size, like maybe marble size, pebble size. That's what is called hasa in Arabic language, al-hasayat or al-hasat. So question number, so it is permissible as long as they are considered pebbles or small stones. Question number 28. That's the question. Like, what about those loads are brought back to Muzdalifah and emptied their loads of those stones collected from the Hujjaj? So he says that if somebody is in Muzdalifah and does not know that these stones have been brought from outside of Muzdalifah, or they are from the Haram itself, or other, no, they don't know. He says even if there was a minor possibility that it may be from outside of the Haram, he says that if those pebbles or stones um, are considered, because once they bring them there, they get mixed up in the land of Muzdalifah. So they're considered now the stones of Muzdalifah. So if they are considered orphan in a commonly considered observer or common consideration, that they are stones from when you pick up, people, oh, he's picking up stone from Muzdalifah. Okay. So if a common observer considers that you are picking from the Muzdalifah, it will be sufficient. Otherwise, if it was not considered commonly by commonly observers that it is not from Muzdalifah, then it will not be permissible, unless if there was a reason to believe that they have been brought from different parts of the Haram. Because we said Haram start from Muzdalifah, Mina, Makkah, and Makkah is big. Haram is big, the border of Makkah, it is all in Haram. So Mina and Muzdalifah, they are in the border of Makkah, the Haram, border of the sacred vicinity of Haram, of Kaaba. But then Arafat is out. So if there was a reason to believe that they are from the if they are from the uh, anywhere from the haram they have brought to as a supply, then there shouldn't be a problem. Let's say you saw the truck coming and offloading. So now you're doubting, oh, so you cannot use those stones where they have offloaded. But when you ask the driver from where he said from Makkah, from Jabal Abi Qubais, from here, from there, wherever these are areas of Makkah, so many mountains in Makkah. So then you can use those stones. Is it permissible to collect the pebbles or stones from top of the mountains which are surrounding Muzdalifah to pelt the pillar? He says, if the mountains surrounding Muzdalifah was in the Haram area, okay, because some are borders of Muzdalifah. So maybe you go all the way on the other side, then you're out of Muzdalifah. So if it was in the border of Muzdalifah, in the border of the Haram, then you can use those stones to strike them. The timing to collect the stone. Is it like recommended to collect the stones from Muzdalifah in the eve of 10th Dhul Hajj? Okay. So what is recommended? Is it recommended? There are two things: to collect the stones and to collect the stones from Muzdalifah. So what is recommended? To collect the stones from Muzdalifah, or to collect the stones eve of 10th of Dhul Hajj, or to collect the stones in the eve of 10th Dhul Hajj from Muzdalifah? How can that work? Well, remember, there are groups, they will leave Muzdalifah. They will not even get out of the bus. Remember, they can make the intention of the bus. The bus is going very slow. So, remember one time revolution happened. The women, they did revolution. Oh, we never also got the stones. So, alhamdulillah, we had collected stones from Makkah before 2-3 days. So the amount is sufficient for all the women. Okay. So, where will we get the stone? I said, these are the stones. But they are not from Muzdalifah, and we did not pick it. Yeah, but you don't have to have the stones from Muzdalifah. It has to be from a haram, from the sacred land. It's a vicinity of the surrounding Makkah, the border of Makkah. Okay, Muzdalifah and Mina, they are from the border of Makkah. So we collected from Makkah at that time, because we will not know, because especially me, I will be in the bus. I'll be going with the bus and we'll not be getting off. Because once a lady gets off the bus, if she gets lost, you are there the whole night to find the lady at dark night time, and you can't look at the faces of the women, you see. And if you tell the women, go find this woman, they get lost, and it happens a lot. So therefore, men, they get lost. Forget about women. So therefore, it is like many times there's a chaos there. So therefore, the collection was done ahead of time. So they said, what about our stones? I said, it's already been collected. All what you have to do is, Mina, give your stones, your pouches, and you can stone the shaitan, a big pillar of the shaitan, and then come back to the tent, or wait until your guardian is there with you. And because the guardian was also accompany us, so I will hand over the women to the guardians. Please take them all to they have done Hajj before. And I will come back to Muzdalifah to continue my stay until the rise of the sunrise. So therefore, so what is recommended? Is it recommended that a person, it is recommended to collect the stones eve of 10th from Muzdalifah in itself, or no, the recommendation is fulfilled from collecting from Muzdalifah anytime, or someone else collects it? He said the recommendation is that the stones are from Muzdalifah, even if someone else collects it, even if someone else collects it from other than the eve of 10th. Question number 31. What about the stones which are doubtful? Would it be sufficient? That these stones, I don't know, are they used or, because the condition was the stones need to be virgin. Now, I don't know these are virgin or not virgin. So these are used or unused. So I doubt. He says once you pick from a place where there's no certainty that it could be used, then that doubt has no place. So it is sufficient to stone the pillar with doubtful stones. Okay, you don't know, maybe they brought it from those trucks. They brought it in Muzdalifah and offloaded there, and they might be used. It's okay. Question number 32. Again, this is repeated about used stones. Okay, so he says that sometimes we find in Muzdalifah piles of stones there, and there's a very strong probability that they are brought from Mina. Okay, that means some of those are used. So is it permissible to pick up from those piles and use it for stoning? He says if your strong probability does not reach the level of satisfaction that these are the used stone from Mina, then there is no problem. If you have doubt, that's fine. But if that larger probability has reached the level of your satisfaction, then you should not be, so if it has not reached the level of satisfaction that your larger probability, then you can still stone, because it's still a level of doubt. Otherwise, precautionary measures must be used, like on the basis of obligatory precaution. If you're satisfied that these doubtful larger probability are used, okay, the driver told you, we just brought this back from the down area where the stones are collected, then you should avoid using those on the basis of obligatory precaution. Those question again, used stones. Question number 33. um, I was out of my stone. So I collected the stones from around the gallery or under the bridge where the stone pillars are. And I don't know this is the use, because as I said, when people they are done, they throw their stones and they go. Or people sometimes they lost their stones, or people they have in their fist for today they bring 10 stones and 7 stones strike, so they leave the third because their pouches are there in their tent, because they don't want their pouches to be lost in their bags, because it's the quota of 3 days. So the question says that if I find stones in the pillar area and it was not known that these are used in this stoning before or not, or they are virgin or not, and or they have fallen from the hands of HAJJ due to the crowd, so is it permissible to will it be sufficient to stone with those pebbles or those stones? He says, as long as you don't know in general that there are some stones which have been used, then you can use them. It is sufficient as long as there is no knowledge that they include in them used stones, then it would be sufficient. However, otherwise, if there was knowledge, no, some of these stones are used, okay, so then in this case, obligatory precaution one should avoid. If somebody stones and it striked, after that he doubts, was it virgin or not? He says, ignore your doubt. It's done. You strike. after you have done, remember, when you do something, it's striked. You know it's striked. So you did. Now you're doubting, was it correct or not? It's a general rule. It is correct, inshallah. Sometimes the ulamas and the mashayikh, they said that you cannot take these. I don't know why some people, they want to take these stones as a blessing to their hometown, you see. So many times I remember some of my teachers, they said, no, you send it back to Mina. It's not permissible to take because it's the stones of haram and this and that. So the question to Sayyidi Sistani Damadullah is it permissible to take the stones of pelting to some other country? He says, yes, it's permissible. Let's say if you striked, okay, if you pelted your stone, you casted your stone, and it hit, but you don't know, did it hit the original one or the extended one? Now, these rules were in that time, when the pillar, the height of the pillar was 2 meters, or 3 meters, or 2.5 meters, and then above they made it longer to pierce the bridge, so that from over the bridge people could also hit. So there was a hole in the bridge where they extended. The pillar was like this, so they extended the pillar until it went all the way up. So this is our pillar. There's a hole in the bridge. So the main pillar is just this. This is all extension coming up, so that up people on the bridge, they could strike. So that means 2.5 meter down under the bridge, then above the 2.5 meter until it goes to the roof of the ceiling of the bridge. That's all extra part. So you hit, but you don't know, is it like from that approximately 2.5 meters, which was long time, or 2 meters, and or the other one. So you don't know. Nowadays, as I said, that it's very difficult because it's wall. Yes, you can just focus on that 2 meters area or 2.5 meter, not pelt so up that the wall is piercing through the bridge all the way up. So in this case, what happens, that if you doubt, he said that I don't know, did I strike the original one or the extra one? Is it obligatory to repeat? He said, on the basis of obligatory precaution, yes, do that, repeat. So that is if you know that sidewise you don't know, unless if you are aware that the original is this. Like we said, Jamratul Aqaba, it can be easy to be known, but because the border of Mina is on the top, you see a green markation of the border, and down it is Jamratul Aqaba, parallel to it. So you know that if the border is there, then you know that Jamratul Aqaba, like the border is, you see the green plaque, exit of Mina, and the entrance to Makkah is up on the top, or side, wherever on the side there is some sign. So that means this is Jamratul Aqaba's original site, so you can pelt here. But other than Jamratul Aqaba, you may not know. And this is also if you know that the border, the signs of the border are there. And that's why you see most of the followers of Ahl al-Bayt alayhimus salatu, they are on this side of Jamratul Aqaba. So I mean, you don't have to hit from here. You can hit from here. You can hit from here, as long as this portion, which is as close as possible to the border of Makkah. Okay. So if you know that, yeah, so on the basis of obligatory precaution, one should repeat if there was a doubt that did it strike up or did it strike straight. But sidewise, other than Jamrat al-Aqaba, many people become confused. Is it sufficient to stone? Okay, is it sufficient to stone the pillar, the pillar of shaitan from the top floor if it is crowded? He said that on the basis of obligatory precaution, it is not sufficient. So if he is not able to strike the original original one from ground floor, okay, from ground floor. Then he strikes the extra part, but he appoint. Remember that women, she strikes the extra area, the not original area, the extended area, and somebody else represents someone else to strike the original area if it was distinguished on his behalf. So strike the not original. So he can from the top, if he will hit, so it will strike what? The non-original area, the extended one. I'm still saying the old style. Now it's wall, extended wall. So this is the bridge, and there's extended wall here. So let's say he stands from on the top of the bridge and he tries to hit down so that it will hit the original area. But if he cannot reach the original area, even from the top, due to the crowd, or down is so crowded, and this is not like before. Some of the rulings are very old, because now this wall is so extended that you can easily find your way and come close to the wall. If not after like Dhuhr, the first day after Asr time, before Maghrib 1 hour, you can easily find a spot where you can hit, because everybody is done most of the Hujjaj. Yeah. So if you can't hit the original part because it's very crowded area, then hit the extended part and give someone the representation to do the original part. And this is the question, okay, which is contemporary. Question number 38. It says that in the recently there have been so many changes for the three pillars. So there are so many layers. I mean, I think it's 4 or 5 levels. Before it was ground floor and top of the bridge, where because of the crowd, people would fall from the bridge and die. So then there was, so now they have first, second, third, fourth, and they have extended the pillar all the way till 5th floor or 4th floor. So, and there is also underground basement where the trucks, they collect the loads, loads. So they said that there's underground, and there's the ground floor, and there is all the floors. The wall is extended from the basement till all the way to the top, 4th floor, 5th, or whatever floors. So it's a wall, and it's not a pillar. And this wall is empty from inside. And it is about 20 meters broad. Okay. And it has two narrowed sides, edges. Like it's like egg, like like egg. So but it's not so eggy. Okay. It's like the sides are smaller and it becomes inflated in the middle. Okay. So these sides are small, it has small edges, and it goes all the way, and it becomes like, I showed you the images. You know the picture, like when we showed you the Jamara from the top floor, it is like this broad, and then it becomes bigger, bigger, bigger. In the middle, it's like a stomach is like, from these sides, it's narrow, and it goes like concave from both sides. So, and there is a possibility that the original pillar is in the middle. Possibility. God knows best. And one of the edges is facing to the Qibla. Remember the border of Makkah? So this edge faces the Qibla, and the other edge is against the Qibla. So if they presented a scenario to say the Sistani Damodallah. So they have two narrow edges, and there's this inflated two sides, curved, two curves, two sides, and then one is facing the Qibla and one is against the Qibla. So the question, there are like 1 and 2 and 3 questions. Question number 1, sub question, that means A, from which level it is permissible to pelt? So answer number A, it is permissible from the ground floor, and on the basis of obligatory precaution, it is not permissible from others. So if you can't, and as I said, it's unlikely. But if you really can't, then on the basis of obligatory precaution, so you can refer to another marja, okay? Or as I said, you hit whatever is extra and from the top floor here and there. But let's a representative um, uh, do the remaining, strike the original part. From which place of the wall? Give a scenario. Here, 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 here. Give the scenario. So from which place, which place one should stone? He says it is permissible to stone, okay, to stone, to pelt the stone or cast the stones, the area which is parallel, to old pillar, okay. يجوز الرمي في المقدار الموازي من الجدار للعمود السابق بمقدار متر من وسطه. So 1 meter from the middle. So if you know that the original one was here, so you go 1 meter until the middle. So where was the original? Was it here? Was it here? Because it's inflated now. So original, and it's empty, hollow inside. They say the wall is hollow inside. The wall is built as a fence, and there's hollowness inside. So that means the original one is inside, or was inside, or broken, or demolished. Whatever happened, nobody knows. So he says, if you know where was the original, or where is the original, the wall outside, which is parallel to that wall, you can strike. يجوز الرمي في المقدار الموازي parallel من الجدار للعمود السابق. Wherever the wall is parallel to the original pillar, you can, in the range of 1 meter in the middle. إذا أحرز كونه كذلك, if he is sure about it. Okay, so ولا يجزي رمي غيره على الأحوط, and it will be not permissible to strike the areas which are not parallel to the original on the basis of obligatory precaution. ومع عدم الإحراز المكان الموازي للأحوط للعمود فالأحوط لزوما التكرار. So if you don't know where exactly the parallel area to the original pillar is, then you hit here, you hit here, you hit here on the basis of obligatory precaution. Okay. So the third segment is it permissible to strike both sides, okay, of the Jamrat al-Aqaba? Or both sides, he would be intending this side, because this is out of Makkah. That's where the question was, can I hit from outside? So from this side or this side, or even this side or this side, both sides could be this side, this side, but most likely it's this side because it's out of the Makkah, and many people, they said you have to pelt from inside Makkah. He said it's permissible. Question number 39. If there was a problem, okay, if there was a problem in pelting the stone, the Jamratul Aqaba, the big pillar, on the day of Eid, there was some problem. That means the condition was not fulfilled, this and that, whatever happened, that means it would cause the pelting insufficient, okay, not sufficient. So he says if some problem happened on the day of pelting the big pillar of shaitan on the day of Eid out of unawareness, he said, oh, I did this. Oh, no, you shouldn't have done that. Out of forgetfulness. Oh, I forgot. I was supposed to do like this. And he did not realize he had made that problem out of unawareness or out of forgetfulness, except after performing the tawaf of Nisa and tawaf of Hajj and Sa'i between Safa and Marwa. Because after that, the sacrifice, shaving of the head, goes to Makkah, performs the A'mal of Makkah, tawaf, Sa'i, tawaf. So what should he do? Does he have to repeat all the tawaf and sa'i which he did after fixing, or can he even go and fix? He says yes, he can go and fix, and there's nothing other than that. Just go back to Mina, Jamrat al-Aqaba, pelt the stone, because some people, they come the same day and do the tawaf. They leave Mina after pelting the stone and sacrificing, shaving of the head. They go Makkah and they do their A'mal of Makkah the same day. So, or maybe the second day he realized, she just goes there and pelt if it was the day of Eid, he just goes back to Jamratul Aqaba and stones even if it was after the tawaf and sa'i. And um, so what if the question number 40 says, what if he realized the second day or the 11th day, 12th day? He says, as long as he's in Makkah and Mina, just go and redo it. Throws. So he says, as long as he's in Makkah and Mina, he can always go and make up for the pelting of Jamrat al-Aqaba or the big shaitan anytime. What if, the question number 41, what if it was after the end of Dhul Hajj he realized? So he said, next year, do it by yourself in the month of Dhul Hajj or in the time of a day of Eid. Or if you're not going for Hajj next year, ask someone else to do it for you on your behalf next year. So it has to be in the month of Dhul Hajj, okay? But if you miss the month of Dhul Hajj, and let's say you went for Umrah in Muharram, no. It has to be on the day of Eid. If you miss the day of Eid, any other day in the month of Dhul Hajj, okay? What if Dhul Hajj ends? Next year you go for Hajj by yourself, or just let someone stone on your behalf. Question number 42. Okay, so this is understood that someone else can do on the day of Eid. Next year and someone else goes. It has to be on the day of Eid. But if he misses, then still 11, 12. If he misses 11, 12, and then until the month of Dhul Hajj. Okay, question number 42. If someone realizes after exiting the state of Ihram that his stoning was not correct, like for example, he pelted the middle pillar of the shaitan. Oh, that's crowded. There's no one here. Let me just do this one. I'm smart. Smart, sorry to say that, okay? That's opposite. People are pelting there. Here, no one is there, neither on the first pillar and the second pillar. Why you want to just go and do something? No, I can't do that. This is an alternative, okay? Let me just stone here before people, they come here. Anyhow, it's like second day, small, medium, large, small, medium, large. But the first day is only big one. People, they try to, that's the problem. Come to the classes of Manasik al-Hajj, they want to do shopping. Before going to Hajj in hometown, they're doing shopping for Hajj. After being in Makkah, Medina, their classes, or even in Makkah, they were to do shopping to go back. They shopping. Baba, do the shopping of Akhirat first and attend the sessions and then do the shopping, whatever you want to do. So they do these kind of smart things, they think. So what if somebody, after exiting the state of Ihram, realizes that he had pelted the wrong pillar, okay? Or he has pelted Jamrat al-Aqaba, the big pillar, but on the extra extended area. So what will be the ruling? He says, Khalas, redo. I don't have to redo the sacrifice. I don't have to redo shaving of the head if there's nothing on my head, okay? And I'm beardless and no mustache, and no nail or nothing. So I've all my hair is gone on on that day. Nothing. Just go and redo it. Okay, there's nothing, nothing to repeat or nothing to redo. Question number 43. If somebody had to make up qada of the pelting of the big pillar of the shaitan, okay, on the day of Eid, for some reason he missed, he did wrong, whatever he has to do now, he has to make up, okay, qada. So what he wants to do qada on the 11th day or 12th day. He realized 11th day, he realized 12th day, and it has to be in the daytime. So what should he do first? Should he do the qada first? Should he make up or should he do the small, medium, large? Small, medium, large. Okay, the 11th day's pelting, or should he do the qada of the 8th day first? He says, on the basis of obligatory precaution, do the qada first of day of Eid, then start pelting the 11th day, small, medium, large. So first finish your qada. Okay, so now we have only 4 questions left for pelting the stone, and I don't want to leave it for our next session, so that next session we can do the sacrifice part. Question number 44. In my hometown, HAJJ, we don't have caravan of followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. We have caravans of the school of companion. And these caravans, they follow the rule that they evacuate Muzdalifah, okay, after midnight. Like us, we have to stay until the sunrise, okay, except for those exempt ones. So ila Makkah, so they eve of Eid, they leave Muzdalifah after midnight to Makkah for tawaf, without stoning the big pillar of shaitan, like not going in sequence. And the pelting is delayed for this group until the evening, okay, evening, like before Maghrib, Asr, after afternoon of the day of Eid. So they go afternoon, they do the tawaf and they do afternoon. The stoning on the day of Eid, afternoon. We do from sunrise till sunset. We have the whole time. For them, there are groups of school of companions. They do from the Dhuhr time. And the Mu'mineen, and the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu, especially the women, okay, they cannot leave the caravan or abandon the caravan and go to Mina by themselves. They have to be with the caravan, okay? And if they go and stone the shaitan on the Asr of Eid, for us it is exempt, for those exempt ones to pelt in the eve of Eid, not the next day. So it will be and they will have to go with the caravan on the next day afternoon when they pelt. And they would not find someone to sacrifice for them except for the caravan people. Or they would be يوم العيد لن يجدن من يذبح عنهن, and they would not find people who could slaughter for them the sacrifice, because many of them, they make coordination with the caravans of followers of Ahlul Bayt and give them the representation to slaughter on their behalf. And these caravans of followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, they pelt in the morning. Women and weak ones, they pelted at night. The men, they pelt in the morning. They slaughter in the morning. It's done. So if the followers of Ahlul Bayt, they are going to slaughter for them in the morning, and they have not yet pelted the stone because they are with the caravan of School of Companion, which they are going to go after Dhuhr. Okay? So, will this, in this case, will it be possible for these women to appoint someone to represent them in pelting the stones eve of Eid after leaving Muzdalifah? Because the caravan will go all the way to from Muzdalifah to Makkah to do the tawaf, and next day they will come and do the rami. There is a situation like the gist of thing is that they will stone on the next day after Dhuhr, and those whom they have represented them, they have to slaughter in the morning time. And the women, they have not pelted their stone because the caravan evacuates to Makkah to do the tawaf. Okay, so how should they, can they represent someone to pelt for them on their behalf from the caravans of the follower of Ahlul Bayt in the eve of Eid, so that they are good and their slaughtering is done? So he said, what you have mentioned is not an excuse for them to appoint a representative to stone the big pillar of Shaitan, Jamrat al-Aqaba. Remember, it's so peculiarity about representing someone. It's you do it by yourself, unless if the extreme circumstances are there and this and that. So he said that no, that they have to stone by themselves in the afternoon of the day of Eid, and to coordinate with those people who can slaughter on their behalf. Not necessary if that day they cannot, they just slaughtered in the morning, they are tired, exhausted, they can slaughter next day, 11th day, 12th day, those days of tashriq, days of distribution of the meat. We said ayyam al-tashriq, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Okay, and then after that they can do the shaving or taqsir. I mean, for women, the taqsir, and then tawaf and sa'i. So what is the solution now for these women? The solution is like this. They should pelt by themselves when they are taken to pelt the stone with the caravan of the School of Companion, afternoon of the day of Eid. What about the slaughter? The slaughter, if the caravan of followers of Ahlul Bayt, they have done, and they are not going to go back to the slaughterhouse because it's so exhausting and so chaotic, no problem. They can slaughter on the next day and the third day. So what about exiting the state of Ihram and Taqsir? Once they tell you that they have slaughtered, okay, and they have done the Taqsir, you can then exit. I mean, they have slaughtered, then you can do the Taqsir, clip off your hair, and then you can go for Tawaf al-Hajj and Sa'i. So the whole thing is they have to pelt, and slaughtering needs to come after it, any day of Tashriq. And once the slaughtering is done, they can exit the state of Ihram by clipping off their hair. Ruling number 45. The day of Eid, okay, especially in the beginning of the day of Eid, it is very difficult for women to stone. So then due to the severe crowd, so will it be possible for them to appoint someone to stone on their behalf, just because of their knowledge that they will not be able to stone, or they have to wait until the crowd is less, or there's no crowd, until the time frame is become short, like like until the sunset, because it's day of Eid. They did not pelt at night, so now they have to pelt on the day of Eid. So day of Eid, it's too crowded, so they will wait until they wait for that time. So he says that if that's the case, they can give representation. They don't have to wait. Okay, they don't have to wait, and they can give representation. However, if they realize that the crowd has become much less in a way that they can do the stoning by themselves, then it will be necessary for them to go and pelt by themselves. As I said, the peculiarity, there's a representation. No, okay, you can go and pelt. I mean, you can give somebody, you don't have to go there. But if you are able to, um, yeah, if you're able to go and pelt by yourself when the crowd is, when it's not crowded, then it would be necessary. Question number 46. If a person is performing Hajj, okay, he's doubting that on the 10th day, did it's repeated question. Did it strike or not? Did my stone strike the pillar or not? Okay, on the big pill of shaitan on the day of Eid. We said ignore the doubt. Once you're done, you know it went straight. You know it was correct. After that, you doubt. Did it really strike or not? So he says this the questioner asks that he is not supposed to he's supposed to ignore his doubt, not pay attention to his doubt. Okay. So if someone doubts, sometimes these sentences are so intertwined, the questioner, when they ask. So let's take it word by word to understand the question properly. If someone doubts that did my stones reached the pillar of Big Shaitan on the day of 10th, day of Eid, then you said that, so he ignored his doubt in a way that he thought that it is not going to affect his Hajj. It may incur penalty. And after that, he forgot to confirm the ruling. Because he's doubting, he needs to check with the scholar. He did not double check with the scholar until he came back to his hometown. Will his Hajj be correct? Because he doubted and he forgot to confirm the ruling. He thought that he doesn't have to redo. He doesn't have to redo so he ignored the doubt. Because there are two cases. You know it striked, but then you doubt, was it correct or not? We said ignore the doubt. Here, he's doubting, did it strike or not? So he ignored his doubt. And he thought that he needs to just pay penalty and it's not going to affect his Hajj. But this was is just a conclusion to, and then after that he was supposed to confirm this ruling from a scholar. And he did not do that until he came back to his hometown. So now it's clear that he's doubting that it hit or it did not hit. He was doubting on the day of Eid. So he says that if his doubt, if it's unawareness, because he's doubting, did it hit or not? In here, he needs to make sure that it hit. But if it hits, he doesn't know that it hit correct or not. Or after he leaves the place, he knows that he hit, but he doesn't know was it correct or not. So that can be ignored because the act was done. Here he is doubting in the fulfillment of the hit. Did it hit or not? So he was supposed to uh, hit again, make sure that it hits. Okay. So he did not have satisfaction, because satisfaction is sufficient, as we know. I'm satisfied that it hit. He did not have satisfaction. He has doubt. Did it hit or not? Then hit again. Because if you doubt did it hit or not, it will be considered you did not hit. That one was you hit, but you are doubting it was correct or not. So he says that if his unawareness about paying attention to the doubt, that means rectifying, was out of unawareness, which could be pardoned, there, and he was not shortcoming in knowing the rules, then he says his deed will be correct. Otherwise, on the basis of obligatory precaution, that means he was negligence about his rulings and knowing the rules, and his doubt was in a way that he was not even going to ask the question. This guy was going to ask the question, so he is attentive to the religious rulings, but he forgot. Okay, and his doubt was not intentionally attended the masail and something like that, but then he forgot about the doubt, or he got mixed up. So he made on his assumption, and he thought, I just have to pay penalty. So if he was not shortcoming in knowing the rules of an ahkam of Hajj, okay, and his ignorance, unawareness was pardoned. Okay, that whenever he doubts, he asks. But here, there was a circumstances, he forgot to ask. Then it will be correct. فلا يبعد so it will be correct. And he says it is recommended precaution to let someone pelt on his behalf in the upcoming year. The reason it's recommended precaution, because he already said that it is correct if his pardon. But if his pardon was incorrect, then he needs. But his Hajj will be okay. So the problem is, the question is about his Hajj. So the Hajj, there's no problem in the Hajj. Okay. And but if he was intentionally ignorant and negligence and this and that can be problem in his Hajj. So he did not answer the other way. What if he was pardoned? So that's understood from this, that he doesn't have to do anything. It's recommended precaution to ask someone to do this on his behalf the upcoming year. Question number 47. It is mentioned in Manasik al-Hajj, whoever does not stone the big pillar of Shaitan on the day of Eid out of forgetfulness or out of unawareness, he makes it up. When? And he realizes when? After the tawaf. So he makes up the stoning, as we mentioned previously as well, but he doesn't need to redo the tawaf. This is what you said, Sayyidina, in Manasik al-Hajj. Now the question is, a person who's unaware, is it like unaware about the ruling, or unaware about the pelting, or unaware, pardoned unawareness, or not pardoned unawareness? Okay, unintentional ignorance. So he said, what type of unaware? He said all types of unaware. That means he was unaware about the ruling, and he was unaware intentionally, unaware unintentionally. He has to just make it up. Okay, and he doesn't have to redo the tawaf and all those kind of things. Or he knew the ruling, okay, but he knew the ruling, but he did not know that this was Jamrat al-Aqaba. He pelted the middle one, okay. So he knows I have to pelt Jamrat al-Aqaba, but he went and pelt the middle one, as we said. So he said he has to go and redo. So it is inclusive. The rule is inclusive to all type of unawareness, intentional, unintentional, unawareness about ruling, unawareness about the application. So application is like he's supposed to do the Rami to Jamrat al-Aqaba. He went and did to Jamrat al-Wusta, the middle one. Ruling number 48. If a person who's performing Hajj was prevented from pelting the stone the day of Eid, let's say some problem happened, something which prevented him, Masdood, we did the rules of Masdood, the one who cannot do Mahsur, Masdood and Mahsur, and he was not able to stone the eve of the the Eid. So he was not able, he was prevented from stoning the day of Eid, and he was not able to stone the eve of Eid. Appointing a representative became difficult. For some reason, he was arrested, for example, and he was in isolation, whatever, detention. So he could not appoint someone. So can he make up? Then he was released. So can he make up the Rami on the 11th day, or the Rami is not going to be obligatory upon that person? Okay. And if it was obligatory to make up, so will he be delaying the sacrifice and exiting the state of Ihram after it, or he can just do the sacrifice and the exiting the state of Ihram on the day of Eid? However, the next day he can go and pelt the big shaitan, the day of 11. He says that if he's able to do the qadha, then it is obligatory. He must do it. What about the slaughtering and this and that? Because now he's going to do qadha on the next day. He was not able to on the day of Eid. So he's going to do the 11th day or 12th day. So what about the slaughtering and the exiting the state of Ihram? He says on the basis of obligatory precaution, he should delay the slaughtering or the sacrifice and exit taqsir, to exit the state of Ihram, until the makeup is done for the Jamratul Aqaba. Okay. أن يؤجل الذبح والتقصير إلى ما بعد القضاء. إن تمكن من القضاء وجب. Okay. If he was able to do the qadha, it would be obligatory. And on the basis of obligatory precaution, he should delay the slaughtering and the taqsir after the qadha. After the qadha. Even if it was not obligatory. Even if the pelting, because the question says, is the pelting obligatory or not? He says if he's able to pelt, do the qadha, it is obligatory. Then he delays. Let's say if it was not obligatory, the obligation fell down because of the ruling of the restriction applied. If ruling was restriction and ruling of restriction applied, then he doesn't have to do qadha, but obligation to pelt has fallen down from the scratch. So then if it's not obligatory, then there's no qadha. So he puts both scenarios. If it is obligatory to do qadha, then he needs to delay the slaughtering and taqsir, unlocking the ihram, after the qadha. He says, even if it was not qadha, he need to pelt in order to do the the slaughtering and taqsir. So in both ways, it's wajib or not wajib, slaughtering and unlocking the ihram requires the pelting of the Jamratul Aqaba. And finally, last question, 49. Um, okay. He says, this year, those who are responsible for Hajj, they announce that the Hajj committee, they are going to give them the pouches of pebbles, okay, to the Hujjaj, which has stones in it, pebbles in it, sufficient amount of pebbles in it, washed, sterilized or sanitized, but they don't know from where they are. Are they from inside the haram, or they're taken from outside the haram? Because some of the Sunni school of thought, they have some exceptional rules. For the school of Ahlul Bayt, we are very tough and peculiar about these things. So, and whether it has some which has been hit or not. So there's unassurity, okay? There is uncertainty about the stones which are in these pouches. So they don't know. So where is this? What is the source of these stones? Are they from haram or not? Is there some? Are there some stones which have been used before? Not? You remember the loads of trucks collecting? Maybe they go to a factory of those pouches and they refill those pouches and distribute. They don't know. So what will be the ruling of stoning with that? He said it will not be sufficient to use those stones as long as you can get other stones or secure other stones. So this was all about the ruling of the stoning, the Jamrat al-Aqaba, I mean the big pillar of Shaitan on the day of Eid. Inshallah, our next session, we're going to take questions, answer related to slaughtering. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.